Good evening. I'd like to call the public hearing of the South Windsor Planning and Zoning Commission for Tuesday, February 24th to order. Let's everyone silence their cell phones. Our first order of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would the secretary please read the legal notice for today?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Notice is hereby given that there will be a public hearing on Tuesday, February 24th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the South Windsor Town Hall to consider the following. 1. Application 26-02P, 555 Dark Hill Road, LLC. Request for a re-subdivision of 4.1 acres for an existing lot and 3 new buildings lots to be known as Patridge Meadows 3, on property located at 555 Dark Hill Road, corner of Dark Hill Road and Trumbull Lane, A-30 zone. Copies of the application are on file in the office of the town clerk and/or planning department, and online at www.southwindsorct.gov, planning department, pages, planning and zoning commission applications. At this hearing, interested persons may be heard and written comments by the public will be received by mail or email. Persons who may require an accommodation may contact staff at 860-644-2511, extension 2329. Paul Burstein, Chair, Planning and Zoning Commission.
Thank you. So we have one application on the public hearing. This evening, we'll hear from the applicant. Following that, we'll hear from town staff. Then we'll hear from the public. And after that, we'll hear from commissioners. So it's time to call up the first applicant. Please introduce yourself, sign in.
Good evening, Chairman Bernstein and Vice Chairman Foley and members of the Commission. For your record, my name is Peter DeMalley. I'm President and CEO of Design Professionals Incorporated, offices at 58 Connecticut Avenue, Suite H, here in South Windsor. 18-person multidisciplinary consulting practice has been engaged by the applicant, John Jakes, who's a local South Windsor home builder and developer, and he owns Jakes Construction company here in South Windsor, and he also has applied under the LLC that he's created. He's a member of that, 555 Dart Hill Road LLC. So he recently acquired a 4.1 acre parcel at the southwest corner of Dart Hill Road and Trumbull Lane from the estate of Joe Caruso. I believe he had a nursery there, if I recall correctly. I think Commissioner Foley mentioned that at one of our prior hearings. With that, Mr. Caruso had previously conveyed to John's family his property to the rear pursuant to the Partridge Meadow 2 subdivision. Application was just over 30 lots, which was approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission some 30 years ago in 1996 and built over subsequent years from then. That included building Trumbull Lane, and other new local streets. John participated in the construction of the infrastructure and homes as an employee of his family's business. As a parcel is residual from 1996, any further division into lots constitutes a re-subdivision application by state statute, and that's why we're having a hearing tonight. Mr. Jakes proposes to re-subdivide the property into 4 new building lots, not involving new streets or extension of a major utility. Thus, it meets the Planning and Zoning Commission's definition in your subdivision regulations of a minor re-subdivision application. He will be building large new homes in this luxury development. And on September 9th of last year, the Planning and Zoning Commission approved a zone change from rural residential to A30 zoning district. All 4 of the proposed lots that we have before you tonight exceed the zoning requirements. Lot number 1, do we have that up here? Can we put up the second slide? Thank you. There we go. All 4 lots exceed the zoning requirements. Lot number 1, which is on the left side of the exhibit, you see the color exhibit, that is where the original house was at 555 Dart Hill Road. And that is 1.69 acres in size. It's very large, which is 2.3 times the minimum lot size in the A30 zone, which is 30,000 square feet minimum. It's got 163 feet of frontage on Dart Hill Road, and 120 feet are required in that zone, and 429 feet of lot depth, and 150 feet are required in that zone as well. Going to the upper right corner, that's the southwest corner of the intersection of Dart Hill Road and Trumbull Lane. We have lot number 2, the corner lot, and as always, we like to create larger corner lots because they observe 2 front yards. And that lot is a full acre in size. It's got 186 feet on Trumbull Lane. It also has frontage on Dart Hill Road. It is 287 feet of lot depth. Lot 3, which is the middle of the 3 lots fronting on Trumbull Lane, is just 33,414 square feet, 131 feet of frontage on Trumbull Lane, and 278 feet of lot depth. So all these lots are deep. And finally, lot 4, the southerlymost lot on Trumbull Lane, which abuts the Partridge Meadow 2 subdivision lots. And that has 131 feet of frontage, 268 feet of lot depth, and it's 32,219 square feet in lot size. So all these lots exceed the requirements under your zoning regulations. On this plan you have in front of you, we have conceptually depicted 4 houses. All these houses will be custom built by Mr. Jakes. On lots 1 and 2, that's the lot to the west, the bigger, deeper lot fronting on Dart Hill Road. That's depicted with a side load garage, as is the lot 1 at the corner. And we're depicting all homes with 3-car garages. Lot number 1 will reduce existing 2 curb cuts on Dart Hill Road serving 555 Dart Hill Road, the existing residence. We'll reduce it by 1 down to 1 curb cut, 1 driveway access. And that's pursuant to your overall desire of having access management, particularly on collector streets such as Dart Hill Road. All of these lots, all 4 lots are going to be served by public water, sewer, and storm drainage systems in Trumbull Lane. There was a shed, when Mr. Jakes acquired the property, there's a shed at the southwest corner of the property that's a back of lot 1. That's already been removed. There's a large dilapidated shed in the middle of the property. That will be removed. It's already in pretty poor condition. It's shot. And then he'll also be removing the old house at the northwest corner. Ian Cole was retained by Mr. Jakes to determine whether or not there are any regulated wetlands on the property or within 100 feet, and he indicated there are no jurisdictional wetlands in either case. The Inland Wetlands Agency unanimously approved the application last week on Wednesday night. It constitutes a conservation plan application because there are no wetlands, and they approved it with no bonds, and I'm sure Michelle may expound on that, but basically these are 4 single-family house lots, and the town takes these up one at a time, and any bonds that are necessary are determined by town staff at the time, because there are really no overall improvements other than those associated with each of the lots. Sidewalks, all the other improvements are going to be done in conjunction with each of the homes by the one builder, John Jakes. And also there's no floodplain on the property, no federal floodplain. Tori Sidoti, who's not here tonight, town engineer, he did have recommendations not in your package, I imagine. They have notes from each of the town staff members for extending the sidewalk so it continues and wraps around the intersection Dart Hill Road over to a proposed, to a handicap ramp for future crosswalk in the event the town chooses to do so. As you know, the town's rebuilding Dart Hill Road, that section of Dart Hill Road, and also is on the north side, other side of the street, is building a new sidewalk section from the town line all the way up quite a distance. I'm not sure if it's the entire length of Dart Hill. Michelle?
Yes, it is, all the way up to Ellington.
Right, so that's all under construction. Most of it's been done, to my knowledge.
Yeah, that leg right there in that, to Vernon, that area is not completed yet. The sidewalk is not completed, but
Yeah.
there is a sidewalk crossing near the Country View Estates, similar to this, where there is a handicap ramp on the opposite side of Dart Hill so that folks could cross over to the sidewalk. So that was the intent.
So Mr. Sidoti's recommendation is that the applicant extend the sidewalk to that, around the corner, and install a handicap ramp in the event the town does choose to put in a crosswalk in the future, and also make modifications to their sidewalk on the other side to accommodate that. I know, when I've driven by, see, you can tell they haven't finished completion. There's still construction equipment and materials on the side of the road, but it started construction last year, and looks like it should be
It should be
constructed
done this spring.
in the spring, if we ever get to the spring. So total sidewalk lineal footage of sidewalks in this proposed subdivision are going to be 460 feet with an additional 50 feet of sidewalk as per Mr. Sidoti's recommendation. Tory and John Jakes, by the way, he's right behind me, right, the applicant. They went out to the site and Trumbull Lane and inspected the catch basins we're tying into along Trumbull Lane that John installed some 25 to 30 years ago. And all are precast concrete basins, and they're in perfect condition, was a consensus. So there's no need for him to do anything. However, of course, when they're tying into them, if they damage them or whatever, he has to make repairs as routine. The Wetlands Agency have recommended, in fact, required in their approval condition number 6, that the lot-to-lot drainage between the lots be permitted and in accordance with the plan, and each lot owner is going to be required to maintain that lot-to-lot drainage, and also the storm drainage system that Kwesi Cousins, our project engineer, is sitting up here to my right, she'll describe, but they're required to maintain these little systems, and she'll describe those. And also that has to be, it's on the plans, but also has to be in the deeds. They wanted that to be in the deeds, so there's no question who's responsible for these minor depressions in the front of the 3 lots on Trumbull Lane and the small one in the back of lot number 1, and those systems be maintained by the property owners. There'll be no homeowners association here. The future, because of this, the entire subdivision layout is, it's the first or second under the housing affordable, second application under the affordable housing provision in your regulations, section 2.24.3 of zoning requires the applicant to make a contribution of $50,000 to the town's housing trust fund account, which identifies for planning, subdividing, acquiring, developing, or managing affordable housing units in South Windsor to address the shortage of affordable housing in the community. Michelle has indicated to us that Lot 1 will now be called 555 Dart Hill Road, as it has been. Lot 2 will be 6 Trumbull Lane. The middle lot will be, Lot 3 is 20 Trumbull Lane, and Lot 4 is going to be 34 Trumbull Lane. That's the one closest to the existing houses on Partridge Meadow that John built. We have comments from Tory and from Michelle, and to my knowledge, we've addressed all those, but I'll leave it up to Michelle. Talk with that. I know we've commented on all those, and with the exception, it's not in writing, but we just represented that John will extend the sidewalk around the corner at Dart Hill so that we can accommodate a handicap ramp and a future crosswalk if the town decides to do so. So now I'm going to turn it over to Kwesi Cousins, our project engineer. She's now going to give an overview of erosion sedimentation control measures, stormwater drainage system, including water quality measures, sanitary sewer system connections, and also some minor points with respect to landscaping. And of course, stormwater, drainage system, and water quality and also the erosion sedimentation control are now in accordance with the guidelines from DEP that were adopted in 2024, and they're a lot of fun, and we're addressing those and we're compliant with those requirements. Kwesi?
Good evening, members of the commission. For the record, my name is Kwesi Cousins. I am a project engineer with Design Professionals, Inc. To reiterate, the site does not intersect any identified wetlands or wetland upland areas. Evaluation of the existing topography revealed that the contours gradually slope downward from the southwestern property boundary northeast towards the intersection of Dart Hill Road and Trumbull Lane. It is expected that stormwater runoff will follow the same pattern with contributing flow from the extensive upland area to the west of the site.
Can I ask you to speak up a little? The acoustics in here are a little bit rough.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Based on this determination, stormwater and ENS control measures were considered to preserve the existing drainage divides as much as possible by taking advantage of gravitational flow, limiting disturbance of the upland flow path. So 3 design points were identified. Design point 1, where stormwater runoff accumulates at Dart Hill Road, at the catch basin at Dart Hill Road. Design point 2, where stormwater runoff would get to the double catch basin at the intersection of Dart Hill Road and Trumbull Lane. And design point 3, where stormwater runoff would get to this catch basin on Trumbull Lane. So, stormwater measures were devised in accordance with the 2024 Connecticut Stormwater Quality Manual to restrict flow to the catch basins such that any potential stormwater runoff during the design storm events would be less than or equal to the existing flow, thereby preventing overtaxing of the pipes in the right-of-way. To achieve this, drainage depressions were modeled to attenuate stormwater runoff, with gentle swales graded between the lots to promote drainage to these depressions. So there are 4 drainage depressions: drainage depression 1, drainage depression 2, drainage depression 3, and drainage depression 4. So drainage depression 2 directly attenuates flow from parts of lot 1 and lot 2 before discharge to design point 2, while drainage depressions 1, 3, and 4 attenuate flow from lots 1, parts of lot 2, part 3, and 4 before discharge to design point 3. So the right to drain for each lot is stipulated as shown on the plans, where lot 1 has the right to drain to lots 2, 3, and 4. Lot 2 has the right to drain to lot 3, and lot 3 has the right to drain to lot 4. Outflow from drainage depression 1 discharges just west of that back proposed property line for lot 4, and then outflow for the drainage depressions along Trumbull Lane would outflow to a storm chamber before it discharges to the existing catch basin. So the chamber is an isolated chamber which provides water quality treatment. So the chambers are sized based on the water quality flow to each depression, such that the collective water quality flow for the site would be 0.445 cubic feet per second. The chambers provide a combined 0.576 cubic feet per second of water flow treatment. So the depressions in the front are about 1.5 feet deep. They are 5-to-1 slopes, so very gradual. And the depression in the back is about 2.5 feet deep, still 5-to-1 slopes, very gradual. So for responsibility of maintenance, each potential lot owner, of course, would bear the responsibility of maintaining each system. And just to note that each lot was considered to have an extra 1,600 square feet of impervious area when we were doing the calculations. So we provided more than we actually have at this time. For erosion and sedimentation control measures, I can switch to that plan. So The erosion and sedimentation control measures were designed and selected to meet the 2024 Connecticut guidelines for soil erosion and sediment control, to include silt fencing along the northern, eastern, and southern property boundaries, as well as along the eastern property boundary for proposed Lot 1, and diversion swales, core logs, hay bales, water bars are also proposed to promote stormwater runoff to the temporary sediment traps and the temporary sediment basin. Additional provisions for dewatering was also provided at the approximate location for each dwelling. For landscaping, to not distract from the marketability of each unit, each depression was aesthetically designed with 5-to-1 slopes, and in terms of like trees that we'll be saving, we will be trying our best to conserve trees along this portion of the southern property boundary and this portion of the northern property boundary, with some trees that we're proposing to remain if they are able to across the site, with additional trees being proposed. If I scroll down to the landscaping plan. Oh, wait, almost had it. Which consists of Celebration Maple and Pin Oak on lots 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, so in total, about 36 trees we're proposing. And for the utilities, proposed utilities include connections to the existing water, sewer, gas, and electrical systems along Dart Hill Road and Trumbull Lane. With a proposed maintenance easement to be granted by lots 2 and 3 for, in favor of lot 1 for the sewer and water connections in Trumbull Lane. If there are any questions.
We'll get back to you on that.
That concludes our formal presentation, but we're here for any questions may be posed by staff or the commission.
Sure thing, thank you.
Thank you. We're the public.
Yeah, with that, we'll turn it over to staff.
Thank you. So this is a request for re-subdivision of 4.1 acres of an existing lot into one lot with 3 new building lots, be known as Partridge Meadows 3, property located at 555 Dart Hill Road in the A30 zone. As many commissioners recall, property was rezoned last fall from rural residential to the A30 zoning, consistent with what majority of the area in the area is zoned A30. So all properties proposed either meet or exceed our minimum requirements for the A30 zone. All properties will be serviced by public water and sewer. WPCA approval will be required. As indicated by Mr. DeMaile, there's only one driveway coming off of Dart Hill, so we're losing one of the access points on Dart Hill. We do require a turnaround as per your regulations. You do have 3 new driveways that will be coming off of Trumbull Lane. If any clearing on the Dart Hill Road occurs within the town right-of-way, coordination will have to occur with our tree warden and make sure trees get posted within the right-of-way before being removed. As indicated, there are no wetlands on the site. However, the applicant did go in front of the Inland Wetlands Agency for over half-acre of disturbance. They did approve it on February 18th, and I didn't have it at the time of this writing, but they did approve it with, as Mr. DeMaile noted, a note to be placed in the deeds and also on the plans related to the drainage structures and systems that are being created. We had some concern to make sure that somebody didn't move in there and change the drainage pattern when it was all being designed so intricately. So at our request, we were looking for some kind of documentation. Easements weren't necessary, but I think this covers it, putting in the deed who's responsible for the maintenance of it and the rights to drain across different properties. So that was made a condition of the Wetlands Commission. Also, as indicated by Mr. DeMaile, this is an application that does fall under the inclusionary zoning requirements under Section H of your subdivision regulations, so a fee in lieu of affordable housing is required. The fee will be $51,240. This fee is payable upon a lot-by-lot basis, so it'd be divided by 4, and then at the closing of each lot is typically how it's been done in the past when we did fees in lieu of open space. The developer could choose to pay it all up front if they wanted to. CROG was notified as required with any subdivision within 500 feet of a town line. In a report dated February 5th, 2026, they found no apparent conflict with regional plans and or concerns of neighboring town. If this application is approved, there are no additional planning department modifications requested. I do have one comment from the town engineer, if I can find it. Okay. The engineering department requests the developer extend the proposed sidewalk improvements on Trumbull Lane to the south side of Dart Hill Road and provide a concrete sidewalk ramp for future mid-block crossing and sidewalk extension on Dart Hill Road. And that's from Tori Sidoti, our town engineer. And that concludes.
Thank you. I see no one from the public. Might we have any letters, emails, texts from the public?
No.
Okay, so with that, we'll go to commissioners. Commissioner Viteri?
Just one question. Currently on Trumbull Lane, is there sidewalk running from Dart Hill down to the other houses on Trumbull Lane?
You want me to address that, or you want?
We're gonna have a gap there that's gonna have to get filled.
Okay,
Most of Trumbull Lane is sidewalk, but there is a small area, like the 2 or 3 houses to the intersection that aren't,
It's about,
3, I think?
it's 2 houses to the intersection of Madison.
Yeah, that don't have a sidewalk currently in front of them, so at some point, it'll probably get on a town list to fill that gap.
okay, so once this is done, all of Trumbull Lane then will be sidewalked and connect, okay.
With the exception of that gap.
Yeah,
The gap, right.
And the Planning and Zoning Commission elected not to have that required back in 30 years ago.
Does that gap within the confines of what we're talking about now, or that gap is further down?
the gap is still gonna be there afterwards, but, you know, almost on an annual basis, the town tries to identify these gaps on different locations. So we will be identifying this when and if this gets put in as, you know, a spot where the town will go in and ultimately put in, you know, a couple hundred feet of sidewalk that's required there.
Okay, all right, that was what I.
Commissioner Welsh?
I have no comments.
Commissioner Abramson?
I'm only curious, what was it before? This is a re-subdivision of what?
So, okay, if I do that? I did a master's thesis on subdivision law in Connecticut, but I can tell you, model regulations. But what happens is it's a re-subdivision because portion of Mr. Caruso, the late Mr. Caruso, his estate sold the land to Mr. Jakes. Part of that was conveyed previously and subdivided into building lots into streets. That's a subdivision, required subdivision approval. Subsequent to that, any further division of any residual land, such as this 4-acre parcel, into building lots or new roads or major utility enhancements, those are required by state law to come back to you as a re-subdivision, and because it's a re-subdivision, it requires a public hearing by state law.
I'm sorry, I just didn't understand. What was it before?
What was it? The use of it? It was a nursery and farm, as I understand, plus a residence.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah.
Commissioner Foley?
Yeah, on your utilities drawing, looks, so is there city sewer on Dart Hill?
So the sewer is
You have to go into the mic.
I'm sorry. The sewer is on Trumbull Lane, so right here between lots 3 and 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at the easement
Any on Dart.
that you have there, but is there no city sewer on Dart Hill?
No, just gas
Okay.
and electric. So we tied in over here on Trumbull Lane.
I was just curious why that route had to be taken. And then one other small nitpicky thing, but I do believe, maybe I'm wrong, I've been wrong many times before, but is it required that we have 2 trees per lot in a new subdivision?
This does not reach the level of having a street tree easement requirement. You do that with 6 or more lots. So the 2 tree per lot is the old requirement. We have a street tree requirement, but again, it would be for a major subdivision, not for a minor. So they're adding some trees, you know, as they want on them.
Fair enough.
You good?
I'm good, thank you.
Commissioner Lopez?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In the corner of Trumbull and Dark Hill, what's in there? Is there a stop sign or a traffic light?
There's a stop sign. At
Okay.
Trumbull, as you're coming out of Trumbull Lane, turning left or right onto Dart Hill, it's a stop sign. Yeah.
Okay, was there any concern on that particular corner in terms of visibility of cars coming in from Dart Hill onto,
I don't recall that ever being an issue, and I've been in and out of there. I haven't known of any problems there.
okay, right,
Right
thanks.
now, the snow is piled high maybe, but that's every intersection in town.
Okay, all right, that was.
Commissioner Dexter.
No questions.
Commissioner Kupchonis.
All good.
Commissioner Kilburn.
Sorry. Okay. You used the term luxury homes when you were describing it. What is your definition of luxury homes for us?
First of all, everything's custom. The design of the house is custom. I don't know, none of these are going to be off the shelf. Every house is individually designed in accordance with the desires and requirements of the buyer. And as a consequence, each one will look different. You know, they'll decide, do they want a 2-story home or a 1-story home, and what characteristics they want, and what exterior, do they want a front porch or not? All kinds of considerations. What type of materials in the inside and the exterior, the finishes inside. You can go huge in terms of improvements on the interior. For example, the woodwork inside and the materials what you use for countertops and flooring, fireplace features.
Okay.
You know, masonry, all kinds of stuff. Do you want a concrete masonry chimney? You know, brick, for example, which we have popularized in this town. We used to be in the brick making business for centuries, I guess. But we certainly, everything's custom designed, what exterior siding, all that kind of stuff. Do you want cedar clapboard? Do you want vinyl, masonry?
Okay,
Beautiful
thank you.
stuff.
So these aren't spec homes. You're not going to build them, then sell them. When you build them, it's already sold.
Everyone's going to be built to order in accordance with a contract with a client, and it's going to be to theirs. But if you look at what John has built, if you look over at Vintage Lane, off Barbara Hill Road, if you look at homes he's built, he did an extension of Dart Hill Estates and Gilbert Lane, right? That area, there was an extension there. He built some really fine homes there. That's the quality he's going to be doing. The quality is going to be the same. And I know at the last hearing we had, which was on the zone change, we had people who had bought houses through John and his family. Remember John's involvement on Trumbull Lane, Madison, and the other streets right in that neighborhood for Parks Meadow too. And it's going to be high quality, and he's known for that. We have a lot of really good home builders in this town. John's one of them.
Okay. Is there a target for square footage for each of these homes, or is that going to be determined by the eventual owner?
The cost of the homes?
No, the square footage.
Oh, square footage? You going to have a minimum? Starting about 3,000 square feet.
Thank you.
So Commissioner Kilburn's question kind of preempts one of mine. In your narrative, it says all 4 lots are oversized and thus can accommodate large 2-story colonial or ranch-style residence with 3-car garages. So that's kind of the mindset at this point going in, but to the way you just answered the question, it could be anything.
I've seen friends of my parents. I remember they built a house, a monster house with a 1-car garage. So we don't know, but everybody varies in terms of what they want to see. But generally speaking, we think minimum 2-car garage, probably 3-car garages, and we think they're all going to be large homes. So, and you've seen larger homes in town. They're going to be, they tend to be very high quality. If you're building a house that size, you're putting a lot of money into it, and they demand the finest, and that's what he's going to deliver, and that's his standard for this subdivision.
Thank you. So, page 2 of the plan here, excuse my naivete, it's the demolition plan. What does that mean? Are we blowing anything up?
We're going to be knocking down some buildings.
So on the demolition plan, it shows the structures and the trees that will be removed. That's what it's depicting. We're not blowing anything.
Okay, good to know.
I would note for the record, I did remind the applicant, anything 75 years and older would go through demolition delay as far as that process goes. So I think the house, when it finally does go to be taken down, would be subject to demolition delay at
I
the
would
onset.
doubt the shed in the middle because it's already half
It's
down.
already half down, right, so.
Not really a building anymore.
So the only other question, so this is the only document that was in my package that shows me surrounding houses. What's the distance to the closest neighboring house or houses? Just ballpark.
We can scale that off if you like, but,
Yeah,
you know, if you go to the aerial and we'll zoom in on it.
What I couldn't figure out is, do those lots mean there's a property there, a house there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they all have houses on them. And you can see on this, you can see the house is offset a little bit, the one to the south of it, existing house. The driveway is quite a distance away from the property line. Here we go.
All right, so that's fine.
The
I'm-
standard is minimum 20 feet, and that house is more than 20 feet. Both houses will be are more than 20 feet away. So they're going to be, in this case, it looks like maybe 60, 70 feet apart, I'm guessing.
Actually, you're in a 15-foot side yard setback, so,
Oh, 50, excuse me.
yeah.
So I'm working on the assumption that because no one is here for the public hearing, and we haven't gotten any letters, that no neighbors have voiced or have a concern that they've issued to us.
No, they didn't, and they would have been notified under the wetlands application, so there was notification that occurred.
Mr. Jakes was in discussions with the neighbor to the south, and he even supported us at the zone change hearing, if you recall. He's intimately familiar with, they've had a lot of discussions back and forth, and he's on board as far as I understand it.
Okay. Commissioners, any other questions, comments? Is there any reason to keep the public hearing open? With that, I will close it at 7:37.
Thank you very much.
So we'll move into our regular meeting. First order of business will be minutes. Any comments, questions regarding the minutes that Josh sent out to us? If not, we can accept by consensus. All agreed? Excellent. Public participation. I see no one from the public here, and I, again, assume there's no one on the phone. New business. So application 2602P, 555 Dart Hill Road, LLC. Request for a subdivision of 4.1 acres for an existing lot and 3 new building lots to be known as Partridge Meadows 3 on property located at 555 Dart Hill Road, corner of Dart Hill Road and Trumbull Lane, the A30 zone. Comments? Questions? Motions? Can you put that in the form of a motion for me?
I move to approve the request for a re-subdivision of 4.1 acres for an existing lot and 3 new building lots to be known as Partridge Meadows 3 on property located at 555 Dart Hill Road, corner of Dart Hill Road and Trumbull Lane, A30 zone.
Well, we need a second first. We have a motion?
Your motion is within accordance with the approval conditions? I mean, the motion
We
should
do that.
include the approval conditions.
Thank you. Mark, can you read the approval
Yes.
conditions?
This approval is for 4 lots numbered 1 to 4. Concrete sidewalks built to town specifications shall be installed on one side of Trumbull Lane in front of the new lots. Drainage and construction for this subdivision is subject to the approval of the town engineer. All lots shall be serviced by the town of South Windsor sanitary sewer system and are subject to the approval of the Water Pollution Control Authority. Water shall be supplied to this subdivision by public water. This application is subject to the conditions of approval of the Inland Wetlands Agency Conservation Commission, including bonds in the amounts,
There were no bonds established.
no bonds. Prior to commencement of any site work, a pre-construction meeting must be held with town staff. All plans used in the field by the developer must bear the stamp and authorized signature of the town of South Windsor. All easements for conservation purposes, drainage or utilities that may be required in connection with the approval of this subdivision must be submitted on standard town easement form where appropriate to this commission prior to filling the Mylars and issuance of building permits. Footing drains are required for each house. Prior to the building of any structure on a lot, a topographic map drawn to a scale of 1 inch equals 40 feet shall be submitted for each lot in the subdivision, showing proposed contours, elevations, and the location of footing drains. No building permits will be issued until the proposed contours, floor elevations, and locations of footing drains have been approved by the town engineer. If for any reason finished grading and other individual lot site work is not completed, the town engineer shall determine the amount of a cash bond to ensure final grading and site work. This cash bond must be submitted prior to issuance of a certificate of occupancy. Quantity estimates must be submitted to the town engineer on the enclosed form for the purpose of determining subdivision bonding. All bonds shall conform to the enclosed bond policy and shall be posted prior to filing the final plans in the town clerk's office. If the developer chooses to submit a letter of credit for a one-year term, said letter of credit must be renewed on a yearly basis until completion of the development. If a new letter of credit has not been received within 30 days before the expiration date, the commission may, at its option, call the letter it is holding. Do we need that second? Oh. A drainage assessment fee in the amount of $150 shall be submitted to this commission. No building permits will be issued until all modifications have been complied with and the final plans have been filed in the town clerk's office. The town engineer's review comments dated today, February 24, 2026, must be incorporated in the final plans. In accordance with Chapter 3, Section H of the subdivision regulations, a fee in lieu of affordable housing is required. The fee will be $51,240 based on the Table 1 fee formula. This fee is payable on a per-lot basis at the time of initial conveyance of each lot.
Any additional conditions that we're aware of?
None that,
What about Tory's?
that's included in Tori's comments dated today. Condition number 15 would take in that comment.
Thank you.
The handicap comment, yes, yep, side, yep.
Anything else, commissioners? I have a motion, I have conditions. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion, I have a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bonds.
No bonds.
No bonds. Old business.
Nothing. I do want to, though, just say that I don't have any new business to put on our next planning and zoning agenda as far as applications go. So I was wondering if we wanted to maybe cancel our first meeting in March, and we would target our second meeting in March to talk about regulation changes based on what's happening with the housing, because some things are happening, at the legislature, and we, be able to hone in on some real final draft. I have some drafts that I'm working on, so I have something I could present to you at that point, unless there's something you want to have on the next agenda that discussion purposes.
I'm good with your recommendation. We all
Great.
good with that?
All good.
Okay, so we'll plan on that. Unless something urgent comes up and I have to call you in, we'll plan on that. So we
And we'll
won't,
be in touch.
we'll be in touch, correct?
Then I think I only need one more thing, folks.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second? Aye? Aye. Thank you.